I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. Really, that money. That money. It's annoying. It's angering. It's infuriating, actually, I would say. To the point where I wish that things would change or improve, but they never do. It's like a vicious cycle every year. But I think that it's just necessary to talk about it once a year, especially when people get riled up. Well, people are getting riled up. The topic is YouTube copyright abuse. Namely, people who use the very, very flawed and broken YouTube copyright takedown system to harass other people. It's happened to me. It's happened to tons of YouTubers. It happens to pretty much everyone who uses YouTube regularly for various reasons, although obviously it happens in different extents and different methods. So for example, a lot of the times when I upload videos, YouTube tells me that the content in my video is someone else's, and therefore because of that I've lost the legal rights to advertise on my video. That's bullshit. All my videos are fair use, so there's no way that anyone has a right to that. But of course, how do you want to really go about it? Do you want to dispute it? Do you want to argue with a copyright company for a month? Like, perfect example of this, on DSP Throwback, part 1 of my Final Fantasy 13 playthrough, the most viewed video since I started that channel last month, is claimed by another company, Square Enix, claiming that, oh, we own the copyright to it. No, you don't. You own the copyright to the game, not a Let's Play of the game. It's already been proven in a court of law that a Let's Play is a transformative work. A judge ruled that reacting to content is a transformative work. So you cannot do that. And I disputed it over 3 weeks ago, almost a month ago, and it's still just sitting there on hold for copyright review and still hasn't been cleared. That's frustrating, okay? Now here's the thing. In reality, it's not that big of a deal for me. But for some people, it's a huge deal. What if you're a content creator who only puts out a few videos a month and they're all huge videos, you know, hour, 2 hour long giant biopics and documentaries or game reviews that are highly edited like an Angry Joe style video, and then that video immediately gets claimed by a third party and you lose all revenue on it. So what did you work for? That's supposed to be your job and you're not getting paid for your job because YouTube system's busted, right? That's just one way that the YouTube system is really screwed up. But in particular, what we're going to talk about this morning is another problem that's massively huge on YouTube that needs to be fixed, and YouTube has not fixed it. Every year this thing rears its ugly head, and I got to deal with it because of people, not me, but because of other people threatening me. And it has begun again this year, so it's time to get it out of the way and address it one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the abuse of YouTube's copyright takedown system. This is different from the content ID claiming system. This system is essentially, oh, I own content. I'm saying that you stole it from me. You didn't have right to use it, so I'm copyright claiming your video to take it down. When a video gets taken down in this method, a channel receives a strike. And if a channel receives 3 copyright strikes, it loses the ability to upload and stream. You need to get those strikes cleared up before you can use your channel again, okay? Now, I've been on YouTube for 15 years. Over 15 years, actually. It was the fall of 2008, so actually we're coming up on a 16-year anniversary this year. I've had false copyright strikes issued against me as early as 2009 when I was playing Grand Theft Auto, or actually Grand Theft Auto 4's first DLC, The Lost and Damned. Supposedly, I got takedown requests from Take-Two Games, but then they were cleared up later. If they were legit, why would they have been cleared up? They never would have. So it leads me to believe that, yes, even these earliest strikes were not real. In 2010, my original Dark Side Filled channel was temporarily removed from YouTube because of false copyright strikes that I received against a Splinter Cell playthrough that I was doing. After I reached out, well, actually, it wasn't me, it was my fans, reached out to the makers of the game, which I can't remember if it was Ubisoft. I think it was Ubisoft. After reaching out to them on social media and saying, why would you take down YouTuber Darkside Phil for this? It's just a Let's Play. To which they responded, oh, we looked into it and we didn't. And so they worked with YouTube to clear it up, and come to find out it wasn't Ubisoft that took down my video, but someone who was named Steve Jones, or at least had just made up the name Steve Jones, and submitted these false claims to YouTube, and YouTube idiotically believed them with no evidence. So, there you go. We're talking about stuff that happened, you know, 15 years ago. And you would think, well, in 15 years, YouTube's definitely improved their system. Well, yes and no. Basically, YouTube doesn't just frivolously grant these copyright claims anymore. What they at least try to do is confirm that someone who's trying to do a takedown actually has information that makes sense. So, for example, right now, if someone tried to do a takedown against I don't know, Mr. Beast, and say that something in a Mr. Beast video was their property, okay? They would have to cite, okay, well, here's my evidence. See, this video actually was originally on my channel on this date, this time. It was right here, and he used it without my permission, all right? Then, at least if YouTube confirms that and says the video is correct, okay, it's a real video, yes, you can see it was used here and it was used here, they'll confirm that stuff before they'll hit you with a strike, okay? Also, from what I'm to understand, another thing that they do is if you get a strike, or let's say one channel hits you with like 20 strikes, like let's say they say, oh, 20 times you abused our copyright, YouTube will not shut down your channel. They'll group those into mass claims and basically like hit you 10 times one strike, another 10 times two strike. See? So your channel just doesn't get completely destroyed and you have time to work on clearing up those copyright strikes, okay? But in general, all right, just being honest, it's still a broken system. It gets abused every single day, and I can tell you why from my own personal experiences. In the last couple of years, I've had a couple times where people lied to YouTube about various things and got copyright claims against my channel. Just last year, the intro of my podcast, the Level 1 podcast, used to be an instrumental edited riff of a rap song. It's not the real rap song. It's definitely been edited enough that it's not the original riff anymore. But someone wrote up false copyright claims, claiming they were the studio that owned the rights to the original rap song, which they didn't, by the way. Even the studio listed in the claims was wrong. That's not the studio that owns the rights to the original rap song. But they made it up, and they cited a sound along, said, well, here's the original song on YouTube, and here's the remixed riff that Phil's using. That's copyright, and therefore we're claiming it. And it was a completely bogus claim. But YouTube granted it. I had to dispute it. It took 2 weeks, and then it got cleared up. But this is what I mean. YouTube doesn't really care. If you approach YouTube on these issues, and you say, why are you granting these strikes against my channel? They're obviously not real. YouTube will say, oh, well, it's not our job to determine that. We just are a middleman. If you have an issue, get a lawyer. I wish that was a joke, or I was exaggerating, or I was just trying to like make shit up. I'm not. That is YouTube's attitude. They don't want to get involved in any copyright matter. They will just grant stuff after a very cursory review of the information. They'll grant the claim, and then it's up to you to clear it up. Whether you go through their 2-week process of disputing the claim and saying it's fake, I don't believe it's real, and then after 2 weeks, if no one issues a lawsuit, the claim gets released, or you have to get a lawyer yourself and go to YouTube and say, if you don't release this right now, we're going to sue. And then YouTube will release the claim. It's 2 different ways to do it, basically. So basically, yeah, that's the problem with YouTube's system. So why am I bringing this up today? Well, because I'm totally out of the loop on all this stuff because I don't pay attention to it because it doesn't affect me. It has nothing to do with me. But I guess, once again, someone out there is impersonating me and using my very, very general information, like my name and street address. You know, stuff that everybody knows, right? Because I was doxxed how many years ago? As soon as I moved here, I was doxxed. So everyone knew my street address and everything that long ago. So they're using this very basic information to go out there and hit YouTube channels with takedowns, copyright takedowns, for having used, I guess, video footage off of my channels. I don't know, because again, I'm not issuing any strikes. I don't see them. I don't know anything about them, okay? But this apparently has been an ongoing thing for many years. This is not the first time. This is probably like year 3 or 4 in a row that this has happened. And every single time we go through this same vicious cycle, here's what happens, all right? All of a sudden, a bunch of my detractors or haters or whoever it is, they get hit with these false strikes. They get very upset, all right? And they immediately get upset with me, even though I'm not involved with it and I have nothing whatsoever to do with it, okay? So they start yelling at each other. They start yelling at me, and then they start threatening, all right? Oh, you better take action. You better get these cleared up. It's in your name, therefore it's your responsibility. Every statement there is wrong. Literally every statement made is incorrect, okay? Just because someone impersonates you doesn't mean you're legally responsible for what they did. That's identity theft. What are you talking about? That's a crime. If someone takes my identity and impersonates me and does malicious things with my identity, that is a federal crime. That's not a crime against me. That's them committing the crime. So if you have an issue with someone impersonating me and doing malicious things, you have to contact the company that's granting the malicious action, which would be YouTube, all right? You have to go directly to the source of the problem, YouTube, right? And then YouTube needs to fix the problem, saying, why are you granting all of this fake stuff in someone's name when they're outright saying it's not them? So once again, here we go. This is the yearly time that I will remind everyone. I'll say it publicly right here on the podcast, and you can clip this and you can use it. I, Phil Brunel, do not hit anyone with copyright takedowns or strikes. I do not. I don't pay attention to anyone's content outside of my own. I'm not aware of who on a daily basis is using clips from this channel or any of my other YouTube channels for any purpose, good, bad, or otherwise. I don't care. I'm here to make content just for my people. That's it. I don't care about what anyone else does or says. I don't care if there's hate watchers, detractors. You do whatever you want. I've been through this for almost 16 years now. I'm used to it. I don't care. I'm still here. I'm still thriving. I'm not going anywhere. So I'm not worried about you. You can do whatever you want. But I want you to think about how insanely illogical it is to try to make threats against me for something that I'm outright not doing, and you have no evidence that I'm doing it, okay? Right now, there are actual detractors who apparently are talking and saying they're going to amass money to file a lawsuit against me. First of all, there's not a single lawyer in the United States who will do that. Because, again, you can't sue someone for something you have no evidence that they did or did not do. You have no evidence I did anything. I'm telling you outright, it didn't happen. I'm not doing it, okay? You can't sue me for that. It's not possible. The lawyer would say, well, where is the malicious action coming from? YouTube. Well, then we have to go to YouTube. YouTube would have the evidence. YouTube would have all of this stuff. You can't just sue someone outright frivolously. It's going to get thrown out of court. It's a waste of everybody's fucking time. Now, I'm not saying there's not a lawyer out there who will take your money. They will. A lot of lawyers look for suckers. Say, here's an idiot. I'll just tell them, hey, I charge $200 an hour, and I'll bill this person for 40 hours, and then next thing you know, I'll say, oh, the fucking lawsuit's no good, and now they're out thousands of dollars. Who cares? I made a bunch of money. So people are suckers. They will fall for that, and they'll probably waste a lot of time and money doing that. So, if you have an issue, all right, go to YouTube. And what I mean by that is, here's my recommendation. Get a lawyer and tell the lawyer everything about what's going on and have the lawyer contact YouTube. It's the only way you're ever going to get anything out of this, or you're ever going to get a response or any kind of action, is to have YouTube fix this internally. I can't do anything about it. Now, before people go crazy, because they do, last year, this exact same situation happened. And last year, I again had people threaten me. I jumped through hoops to help my detractors. I want you to think about that statement. I actually went out of my way and wasted my own personal time to try to help my detractors, okay? The first time that I did it, I went to YouTube Partner Support Chat, and I explained the entire situation to them, in and out. I even provided them with examples of detractor videos that had been falsely taken down in my name. The whole situation. YouTube Partner Support Chat said the following. I'm paraphrasing here, but I've actually posted up the entire conversation on the internet for people to read for themselves. But basically they said, it's not my responsibility, nor is it anything I can do about it, because I'm not putting the claims in. If it was, I could do it through my YouTube channel. I could take the claims down or whatever. But since I'm not filing these claims, I have no power whatsoever to stop them at all. I literally have no involvement in the process. Zero. If my detractors who are getting the false claims have an issue, they need to get legal counsel and have legal counsel contact YouTube. That's what I was told directly by YouTube Partner Support. And I said, so you're telling me what you want to happen is you want people to sue you. And they said, well, no, not necessarily that, but at least if the lawyer contacts us, we can legally talk about, fixing stuff. And that was where they left it. I said, well, there it is in black and white, in writing. YouTube is telling me outright, I cannot do anything about people impersonating me. There's no way for me to do it. I can't stop them. Okay? It's YouTube's broken system. If you want my opinion, YouTube should absolutely 100% require that you are logged into your YouTube channel to issue a copyright takedown. Why wouldn't they do that? How does that make any sense? Anyone could just frivolously put a copyright claim in without confirming identity. At least if I'm logged into my YouTube channel and then you do a takedown, now you've confirmed who you are, right? And then you have a track record. You'll have a queue of here's your copyright takedown request, so you can see them and everything. There's evidence. These people are doing this without anything from me. They just have my name and address, and even it's funny because I guess people are saying they're using obviously fake email addresses, like darksidefilmmanagement at something.com, some email company you've never heard of before, right? And it's like, obviously it's not real. So, again, frivolously granting that is a YouTube issue. You see, 100%, that's a YouTube issue. Now, before you say, oh, well, not every single company out there has a YouTube channel. Well, then you need one. If you're going to make a legal claim against YouTube, you have to create a fucking channel. It's that simple. It has to have an identity verification process. Not everyone can just throw anything at YouTube and they just believe it all. That's actually illegal. Every single time that YouTube erroneously grants a DMCA takedown, they are violating DMCA law. DMCA law says you have to enforce certain things, but you have to verify and do these things. You can't just do them without evidence. That's breaking the law. But again, no one takes YouTube to task for it, so YouTube just gets away with it on a daily basis thousands of times, okay? So that's what YouTube Partner Support told me last year. But that wasn't good enough because I posted that publicly on the internet and my detractors again harassed me further and said, that's not good enough. Go to YouTube Legal. Write YouTube Legal in email and demand that they help you. So I did. Okay? I did. I wrote YouTube Legal in email too. I have it right in front of me because I'm going to read it for you word for word here. This is what I sent to them last year. All right? I'm serious. This is word for word. I'm going to read it. Hello, my name is Phil Burnell. I'm the owner and operator of the DSP Gaming YouTube channel for the last 13 years. It is my primary business and source of income. You can find it here, and I gave them the link. I'm writing to you today regarding a large-scale legal issue of impersonation and false copyright strikes that are being issued in my name. I am now being constantly harassed online and even receiving false copyright strikes against my own YouTube channel in retaliation. Other YouTubers are telling me that they have been receiving dozens or more copyright claims against their YouTube channels, and that these claims are being issued by Philip Burnell, DSP, or DSP Gaming, and that my information is attached to them. Sadly, information such as my street address and phone number were leaked many years ago. Therefore, many malicious parties could use this information to submit false copyright claims in my name. Many YouTube channels are now outright being terminated as a result of false claims, which I have nothing to do with. But I'm being held accountable for them, and that is both ethically and legally not right. YouTube should be vetting all copyright claims before issuing a strike, but I can assure you they are not doing so, and now this is hurting both my public reputation as well as my business. I have received many threats from people saying they are now going to do the same thing to me, which I have done to them, despite my not having any involvement in this whatsoever. I've attempted to contact YouTube support on the matter via the live chat on 2 occasions, and both times I was told there is nothing we can do, you just go speak with a lawyer. I do not feel this is a satisfactory answer. I would hope we can have a dialogue regarding this issue without having to spend countless hours of time and money with legal proceedings. I want to speak with someone in your legal department and hopefully get this cleared up without any lawyer or lawsuit involved. All right? That's what I sent them. And then what I actually did, I sent them specifics of those false copyright strikes that I got last year for the stupid music bullshit for my podcast intro, okay? Here is their response. I'm going to read it to you word for word. You tell me if you think that this was worth writing to them. Literally, this is the entire response. I'm going to read it to you. Ready? Hello, your video or channel has been removed due to copyright infringement. Please see the Copyright Center for more information. The community has flagged your video or channel as inappropriate. Flagged content is not automatically taken down by the flagging system. After review, the YouTube team found your content violates guidelines. As a result, it's removed. Accounts that have major or severe violations are suspended. Please take time to learn about YouTube's community guidelines and how they get enforced. If you think a community guideline strike was applied to you in error, you can appeal it. First of all, I didn't write to them about a guideline strike, and I didn't have one. So I'm just telling you, this is word for word what's in their email. I didn't even write to them about a guideline strike. This is their response. I'm going to continue. In order to ensure your complaints directed to the most appropriate place, review links below for information about YouTube's content policies and how to report content. If an individual within a video or authorized representative believes the content violates YouTube's privacy guidelines, click here. If you think an interaction with a fellow community member has risen to the level of harassment, click here. For other potential abuse or security, click here. If you or someone known is in immediate danger, contact your local police. It may be helpful to keep a record of abuse to show the police, and you can create a record by taking a screenshot of the threatening content or reprinting the text or post. Regardless, the YouTube legal support team. That's the response I got. I wrote them a detailed message explaining systematic impersonation and that they need to take it seriously because people might try to sue them over it. And they gave me a form letter response talking about community guidelines, and if you're afraid that you're being harassed, contact the police. That's word for word their email. I just read it from you. That was from April of last year. Okay? So I just want to make this very clear one more time. All right? I do not condone any of the actions of anyone out there who takes down someone's videos with false copyright strikes. Okay? I don't condone anyone using my information, my personal stuff, and trying to impersonate me and take stuff down. I condemn it. I want it to stop. But I've done everything possible within my reasonable power to contact YouTube, notify them of the situation, provide them with examples, and get them to listen, and they don't care. They've outright told me time and time again, if someone has an issue with a false copyright takedown, get a lawyer. And that's their answer. And that's what everyone has to deal with YouTube. It sucks. It's terrible. It's not satisfactory whatsoever. It shouldn't be that way, but it seems like that's what we got to deal with if we deal with YouTube, right? That's, I guess, what they call it, the nature of the beast, right? And I don't even like having to waste time talking about this today. I don't. But I'm getting, no lie, this week I got like 5 or 6 threatening emails from various people who claim they're my detractors. I don't even know if they are because I don't pay attention. I don't know who my detractors actually are. One guy was like, oh, I'm so-and-so, and you know who I am, and I'm going to do this. I was like, I don't know who you are. I don't have a fucking clue who you are. I don't listen. I don't care. I'm fucking on my channel doing my own content. I don't watch your shit, right? So, but what it is they're saying, we want you to write an email to legal. We want you to do this. I'm like, I already did that. I've already done everything possible from a reasonable perspective to intervene and stop it, and YouTube doesn't care. They're a giant company. They don't care about the little guys like us. They don't give 2 shits. If this were some megalo YouTuber who makes them millions upon millions of dollars, maybe then they would care, because that person would likely have a lawyer who would then immediately slap them with some kind of a legal thing and say, hey, this is bullshit. You got to stop it because this is a big business or whatever. I don't have that. I don't have that. You don't have that, right? Now, I 100% want everything to improve. All right? I do. I don't want the system to be broken terribly. But it's a vicious cycle. I want you to think about this. So I'm being threatened that I'm either going to be sued or I'm going to get false copyright strikes against my channel, right? So if I get sued, what's going to happen? Well, let's see. You know I didn't issue the takedowns against you. You can't win any money or anything from me because I didn't legally do it. All that's going to happen is YouTube's eventually going to get contacted and your lawsuit's going to get thrown out because you can't sue someone without evidence they did something. It's identity theft. And you already know it's not me. That's the other thing. There's already evidence on the internet. It's not me. Other people are claiming the responsibility for doing it. They're using email addresses that I don't use. You know it's not me, so you're wasting time trying to sue me. That would be ludicrous. A complete waste of your money and time, and you're just going to be basically cheated from some lawyer who's going to take all your money and run with it because you're being dumb about it, right? You know, if you hit me with false copyright strikes, that doesn't solve the problem. You're still going to have false strikes against your channel. I mean, I don't even know why this person is issuing the false strikes to begin with. Do you think it's going to please people to see my stuff taken down illegally? It doesn't, literally the two things that I'm being threatened with don't help the problem at all in any way, shape, or form. What it is, it's emotion. People are upset because they have YouTube channels that are being taken down unfairly. I agree with you. I'm on your side on this. So why are you threatening me? I can't help you. I've done everything I can. I wish I could do more. I can't. All right? The best bet, if there is a group of people out there who are still having this issue and it's ongoing, every year it seems this happens, it comes back. You should pool your efforts together. You should hire a lawyer. You should contact YouTube. You should say, here's our channels. Here's the situation that happens every year. We've had enough. This has to stop or we're going to sue you for violating the MCA. And then YouTube will have to take action. YouTube is the only one who can take action here because they're the ones with the broken system that are granting the false takedowns. I don't know what else to say. I mean, logically, this should make sense to everyone. Correct? Correct? Logically, this should all make sense. So I just don't understand where people come from. Again, besides emotion. You're upset and you want to feel like you can get immediate restitution or immediate answers or immediate relief, and that's just not possible in this situation. Threatening me or trying to hurt me doesn't solve your problems at all. Your problems will continue. You might even exacerbate the problems because I don't know who this nut job is who's doing the false claims to begin with. I don't know why they're doing them. They might continue. You know, so please listen to reason for once in your life. If you ever have listened to reason ever, probably not. You got to do the correct thing here. And hey, you might actually do the public good. Because if someone actually went after YouTube for their gross misuse of the MCA law every single day on their site, they might have to fix the system. And if they fix the system and it's all improved and no one gets false takedowns anymore, I mean, YouTube would be a better place, right? So you can either waste your time spinning your wheels, gritting your teeth, stamping your feet, screaming as loud as you can, sending the angry, threatening emails, or you could actually put your heads together and do something good for everyone who uses YouTube. So what are you going to do? That's the question, okay? And by the way, you need to stop listening to the wrong people because you're listening to enablers. Because there's people out there who are actually like, oh no, you could sue DSP and you could get... There's nothing you could sue me for. Zero. I've done nothing wrong. You have no evidence that I've done anything wrong. I don't care what some YouTube lawyer says. He's a fucking idiot. That's why he's a YouTube lawyer and not a real practicing lawyer. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. All right? You can't just sue anyone and have it go through and be granted by a judge because you don't like them. You have to have legal grounds for it. There's no grounds to sue me because I haven't done anything wrong, period. That's the end of discussion for anyone with a legal fucking mind, but people want to have YouTube drama about it and create content. You're not going to get content out of it. All you're going to do is waste your money and look like a jackass at the end of the day when you wasted money on a lawyer that's just going to laugh at you because they took all your money and didn't have anything to come out of it with. Ridiculous. Anyway, so people are saying, why am I giving it attention? Because I'm getting threatened. I told you this week I got like 5 or 6 emails, threatening emails. This isn't just like, hey, I just want to let you know what's happening. It's like, you better do something or we're going to sue or we're going to hit you with false strikes. Like, what does hitting me with false strikes solve? Zero. You want content out of my channel. You're going to take it down? For the same broken system that's hurting you, what's the point? It doesn't even make any logical sense. It's like, what are you talking about? Why would you do that? And again, emotion. That's what it is. It's not logic. It's emotion. People are upset. I totally get that. I've been there, you know? But there's no quick fix. This is one that, you know, sadly, we're all beholden to a giant corporation that we all upload content to, and we all have to abide by their broken-ass systems and rules, and this is one that we've been dealing with for ages, and it sucks, okay? I agree with you. So, all I have to say is, please be logical about it. I'm not going to bring it up again unless it affects me. So, you know, guys, if there's strikes to hit my channel or some shit, I'll let you know, because you need to know. You need to know if a channel's going to get suspended and if I have to go upload to another channel. Because, by the way, I did confirm that with YouTube. Last year when all this was going on and I was talking to YouTube partner support, I said, if DSP Gaming gets suspended for these false strikes, can I still use my other channels? They said, absolutely yes. Every channel is individual. There's a difference if you're violating community. So, for example, if I was doing outright things that were awful to the community strikes and getting multiple community strikes and my channel was taken down for being like a racist or something, and then I open a new channel, that's not allowed. But I already have established channels. Yes, I could temporarily use another channel if I need to. If I need to stream or upload somewhere else, I can do that. I mean, I did that years ago. If you remember, I did that years ago when the whole Google Plus fiasco happened, and this channel got basically like hidden on YouTube for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I used the old KO Gaming channel, so I might, you know, if it ever happens, I have backups, you know. Okay, so FYI, that's how it works. And again, I've confirmed 672. I literally just said I confirmed with YouTube partner support. I have it in writing that they said you could do that. It's only for community issues that it's a problem. You can't ban evade with community issues, but copyright issues, you can do that because you need to have copyright issues cleared up, and it takes weeks. You see? Okay, so that's what's going on. It's stupid. I wish I didn't have to waste time talking about it because again, it's nothing I'm involved in. It's nothing you guys really are involved in. But gotta let you know what's happening because I gotta make a public statement about it. It seems like once a year I have to do this, right? At this point, once a year this happens, and I have to come out and make a public statement about it again. And it's just like, what can you do, right? So it is what it is. You know, hopefully nothing comes of it. If anything, if something comes of it, I'll be honest with you. Someone needs to collectively go together and make a class action lawsuit against YouTube for this, and say YouTube is grossly abusing the MCA law every time they grant a false claim. And we have evidence of all these false claims. Here they all are. Sue them. And then when YouTube gets hit in the pocketbook saying, listen, all this monetary loss of our channels and things because they were shut down because you granted false strikes and didn't vet them, YouTube will have to fix their system. But no one has done that. Why? Because no one wants to bite the hand that feeds them. They're afraid that if something happens and they go against YouTube and it doesn't go well for them, well, that's the end of anything they could do on YouTube, right? Like, of course, YouTube might, treat them poorly now. And, I hear you. But I'm sadly, I'm not the guy, as you guys know. I'm not rich. I'm not big. I'm a tiny little YouTuber. I don't have the means to go after YouTube on this. This sounds like this could be a class action deal with a bunch of people grouping together, collectively pooling their resources and funds and time and effort to get YouTube to change for the better. That's great if that happens. But I can't be involved in it. My only involvement will be very simple. If I'm contacted by a lawyer and this lawyer says we're in a legal proceeding against YouTube, there's false claims in your name, can you provide evidence to say that, or can you make a legal statement and say you're not involved in this? Yes, absolutely, 1,000,000%. I've never ever said that I would not work with a lawyer to actually go against YouTube and clear this up. 1,000,000%, yes, I would do that because that's the right thing to do. I'm not saying I refuse to help anyone. No, I will help anyone who's going through the right way to do this. Absolutely, I will aid any investigation. I will aid any lawyer properly going through the right channels to try to get this issue fixed. Okay. But as for me doing stuff of my own accord, I've already done everything I could. There's two means to contact YouTube: the partner support and the legal team. I've contacted both. They both gave me the big blow off and don't care. And that's the end of it for me. Okay? We got it out of the way.